If you are viewing this video, you most likely know all about ELENIN. But what exactly is going on with ELENIN? Is it a cover-up? Is it even real? All of a sudden we have earthquakes, which some say can be caused by HAARP, Project Bluebeam, and some say earthquakes are caused by ELENIN's alignments with the Earth. Could it be that all this is a hoax to prepare for something we don't see coming? Because our focus is right where they want it to be, and for those who have no clue of ELENIN and are going on living their everyday lives will be the easiest targets. It is obvious by the Swiss banknote of ELENIN's trajectory on the NASA JPL that they have known about ELENIN for a long time. It does not surprise me that disasters will be created in order to get Americans to trade liberty for security. There's nothing safe about trusting our government. The survivors of Hurricane Katrina, some who died due to starvation and dehydration, while 26 semi-trucks carrying bottled water were prevented from entering New Orleans by FEMA due to safety concerns. There are also evidence that levees were blown up by explosives in order to let the waters flood the city. FEMA is not here to help you. They're here to obey orders, same with HAARP. Their job is to engage in weather modification experiments all over the world, including spraying chemtrails, which cause major health issues. There are over 800 prison camps in the United States, all fully operational and ready to receive prisoners. They are all staffed and even surrounded by full-time guards, but they are all empty. These camps are to be operated by FEMA. Executive orders associated with FEMA that would suspend the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. These executive orders have been on record for nearly 30 years and could be enacted by the stroke of a presidential pen. What can FEMA do? It can suspend laws, it can move entire populations, it can arrest and detain citizens without a warrant, it can hold them without a trial, it can seize property, food, supplies, and transportation systems. It can even suspend the Constitution of the United States. When the first concept had been presented, its original mission was to assure the survivability of the United States government in the event of a nuclear attack. Its secondary function was to be a federal coordinating body during times of domestic disasters. These disasters consisted of earthquakes, floods, and hurricanes. The secret black helicopters that are reported throughout the U.S., mainly in West California, Washington, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, and Colorado areas are flown by FEMA personnel. A series of executive orders was used to create FEMA. It does not matter whether an EO is constitutional or not. It becomes law simply by being published in these federal registries. These orders go around Congress. A Marine confirms prisoner boxcars repositioned everywhere for martial law. The military has properly estimated the civilian resistance military threat under martial law, and hence had everything in place for a military takeover. The Committee of 300 now call themselves World Government Founders for the NWO. Their goal, a one world government, one unit monetary system. In this one world entity, population will be limited by restrictions on the number of children per family, disasters, war, famines, until 1 billion people who are useful to the ruling class remain. As a total world population, there will be no middle class, only rulers and servants. The system will be on a basis of welfare state. Those who are obedient and subservient to the one world government will be rewarded with the means to live. Those who are rebellious will simply be starved to death or be declared outlaws.
The Los Angeles Times on April 21st, you said that you told the Associated Press that the American government has created weather tampering techniques so that the New World Order will be able to starve millions of Americans and to control the rest. Would you explain what you were trying to say? Well, what I was trying to say is exactly what I said. There is weather control techniques. We have a complete package on that, which I did not bring, but I certainly will see to it that it is brought in for the record. Number one, the entire patents on the equipment. Number two, Senator Claiborne Pell's complete statement and story of his
brings me back to ELENIN. Here we have a comet or brown dwarf star or whatever it is heading our way, and it's not alone. We have a huge uptick in earthquakes, UFO sightings. Is all this a distraction of what they are planning? Is any of this even real? Which brings me to Project Bluebeam. The first step in the NASA Bluebeam projection concerns the breakdown of all archaeological knowledge. It deals with the setup with artificially created earthquakes at certain precise locations on the planet. The second step in NASA Bluebeam project involves a gigantic space show with three-dimensional optical holograms and sounds. The third step in the Bluebeam project that goes along with the telepathic and electronic argument, two-way communication where ELF, BLF, and LF waves will reach each person within his or her own mind, convincing each of them that their own God is speaking to them from the very depths of their own soul. The third step in NASA Bluebeam project is called the telepathic electronic two-way communication. The mind control over the entire planet is now possible. An individual's only resistance would be to constantly question the motivation behind their thoughts and not act upon thoughts which they consider to be outside their own ideological, religious, and moral boundaries. World peacemakers call for a 3-day moratorium on all news 9/22 through 24 during Peace Festival to stop the world for ELENIN's approach. So they got our attention with ELENIN. There are so many people who have never even heard of ELENIN. They are going about their daily lives with their eyes wide shut. The reason for the call for a 3-day moratorium on news is to utilize the energies generated by both ELENIN and a global meditation on peace. In short, if 144,000 individuals can step out of the world for 3 days and identify themselves as world peacemakers on the map, they will cause a shift in the mass consciousness. The sponsors of the Know Thyself initiative, with many presenters at the festival, unite in a calling for 3-day moratorium on all news, September 22nd through 24th, to stop the world for global meditation on peace before Comet ELENIN aligns on the 26th. Accordingly, many more of the world's peacemakers, including the Council of World Elders and Tony Burroughs, are adding their names to the call, because they see this as an unique opportunity to shift the mass consciousness from conflict and despair to cooperation and hope. Who are the world elders? The elders are wisdom keepers selected by their own people to carry the ancient knowledge and traditional life way of their peoples for millennia. They have carried oral histories, healing wisdom, spiritual practices, accumulated knowledge and experience of their own natural environment, stewardship of their sacred lands, and an amazing knowledge of the cosmos, the universe seen as well as ordered whole, among so many other things. Council members will advise world leaders and conduct teachings for the public on topics such as peace and reconciliation, restoration of sacred lands, disclosure of sacred documents, sharing of traditional healing methods, preservation of native language and ceremonies, and ecological balance and sustainability. In addition, council members will help form local and regional councils to carry out the vision of elders and the mission of the World Council of Elders, Incorporated. The government is building underground bunkers on a mass scale. They have an entire department funded by taxpayers to the tune of $6 billion per year that is specifically tasked to deal with disaster scenarios. Our president will be in Denver bunker the day of ELENIN alignment. It states that he has been notified by the Americans of their plan to hold a DEFCON 1, or a defense readiness condition, cocked pistol maximum readiness alert drill on the 27th, which will be overseen by President Obama at one of the United States' most secure bunkers located beneath the Denver International Airport. The ultimate losers end up being the American people, whose delight in total ignorance as to what is happening around them continues to astound the whole world. We aren't being told. Even YouTube had a media blackout. Get ready for whatever may be heading our way. Save water, non-perishables, do it now and don't wait. Because no matter what is a hoax or what isn't, we are all in for a bumpy ride.